I was 18 when I got married. So it was an arranged marriage. So I lived in the village with my parents. I had siblings, and there was this man that indicated interest in marrying me. He was 38, and he had just returned from America. So at that point, it was like the best thing possible that could happen to me. I mean, I'll be going to America with my husband, start my family there. But I didn't want this for myself, but my parents actually wanted this. And I was from a poor family, so it just felt right that I would want to marry into a family that had an accomplished son and go to America. That it was that much of a big deal. And I finally agreed, even though I had a boyfriend that was in the university, that we had plans to actually be together. We were lovers. My family won in the end, so I got married to this man. Let's call him Iziafa. Yes. And we had our wedding in the village. Our first night was terrible. I still went ahead. I mean, I was married now. I was Mrs. Zina at this point. So we migrated to America, Houston to be precise, and there we started our lives. So he actually had plans for me. Prior to when I got married to him, I wanted to go to the university. I just finished secondary school and study something I liked, but from what he was saying, he wanted me to study nursing because nursing was a more profitable profession at that point. And it was there that I realized that this man that I had married, that people in the village were seeing as a king, and someone that just came back from America, it was actually a driver there, but he was providing, so no issues. So most times, anytime we went out to work, I was mostly locked up in the house and I was bored. He didn't want me talking to people, and he just wanted me to just be in the house and just be the housewife pending when I go to school. And even at that point, I was even like gunning for us to even have a baby, something to just keep me occupied. But it was like, no, that was going to distract me and everything, that there was a plan. So I needed to stick with the plan. Yeah, so I went ahead with it. And mind you, I was 18 years. So I went ahead with it, and soon enough, I got into the university there in America. And I started studying nursing, even though I didn't like nursing. But my husband has said it's nursing that I'm going to study. So, and he brought me to America. So, and I'm nothing without him. So, nursing, I studied. Then along the line, I started to like nursing. I started liking nursing, and soon I finished everything and I started working as a nurse in a hospital. When I started making money, he brought up the plan that he wanted to build a very big house in the village, and I was the one that was going to be funding this thing. So I was putting money away, giving money to him to build a house. Like, I was investing a whole lot of money. Like, almost every salary that I made, I was investing a lot of money into this house that he was building in the village. Okay. And it was even along the line, one of those days when I was bored before I got into the university, before I started studying nursing, that was when I realized that, that I used to have a girlfriend there in America that he loved, someone that was closer in age to him. Mind you, there's a 20 years age gap between the both of us. So, but he didn't marry that one apparently, because his mother wanted him to marry someone from the same village as him, and it just happened to be me. So the house was being built, and it was his uncle in the village that was helping him to build the house. He was sending money to his uncle. Then one of these days, I saw the picture of the house he had built in the village, and I lost it there because I was working day and night. I was toiling morning and night just to make funds. I was working overtime. I was working shifts just to make funds for this house he was building in the village. And I saw the monstrosity that his uncle had built for him. It was crazy. I just lost it, and there I'd had enough because there was no love in the marriage. It was an arranged marriage, and it wasn't like all these romance filled arranged marriages that you see in books, or you might even see them in real life. But mine was, I would just say it was a means to an end. So I lost it, and there I vowed that he was never going to have any of my money again, because I wasn't even sending much to my own family that I'd made this sacrifice for. I was giving him all my money, and at that point he had even stopped working, so he didn't go to work. Like, it was just crazy. Literally at that age, as young as 25, I was the breadwinner of that family. My friends were doing things with the money that they were earning, and I was just catering to my husband. No, just in case you want to ask, it wasn't this Prince Charming. It was very ugly. It was, I married an ugly man, but no, but they say a man is never ugly, right? So that was how we continued. At that point, I decided that I needed to live for myself, and soon I began a friendship with a white man that was working as a nurse in the hospital. His name is Raven, and we started this friendship. At first, it started as friendship, fascination, office bestie, that kind of thing. And before you know, we began to like each other more. And it was at that point I considered leaving my husband. Yeah, some of you might call it cheating, but at this point, I just saw the marriage for what it was, a farce. And I started making plans to actually divorce my husband. So it was at this point that I decided that I had had enough with being with this my husband. I could not continue being with him. It was, I mean, I just felt like I was his retirement plan at this point, and he just wanted to use me. He had done his bit by investing in me, like I was his cash cow for when he got older. Besides, he wasn't even bringing any money into the house. So I decided I wanted to elope with my now boyfriend Raven. So I just wanted to live with him. I loved him now, and I couldn't stand being with my husband again. And unknowingly to me, my husband had been following me. He had been watching my movements, and he knew about Raven, but I did not know. So I actually planned to leave in his absence, but then I told my parents back home, I told my mom back home about what was happening, that I wanted to divorce him. And I just don't know, he found me out just before I would leave finally. So my husband soon found out that I planned on leaving him, and it was at the time when I was packing my things to actually elope with my boyfriend that he stormed in on me, and he tried to make things work, but it was too late because I already knew what the pattern was, and I just was not willing to continue in that situation. Like, I wasn't having none of it. I mean, this is someone that was like 20 years older than me. What was I even doing in the first place? Yes, I bowed to pressure because of poverty, and I went with him, but it was not a win-win situation the way I thought it was going to be in the end. Like, I just wasn't going to give up on this new guy that we both had our future planned. And I was adamant I wasn't going to stay with him. Like, it was a given. No, I wasn't going to stay with him. Already plans had been in place for me and my boyfriend Raven to actually be together. So anything that he was saying at that point, even I was taking contraceptive pills, so I wasn't planning on even having kids with him again. The time when I wanted to have children with him, that time had passed. So yes, I was taking pills, and he was like, oh, even before I even decided to even leave him, he was like, oh, let's make a baby, let's have children. Now that I was already settled at work, I had a steady stream of income. Children for who to take care of? Yeah, who will take care of the kids if I have kids for him? If I decide to pop out a baby, who was going to me? I was going to be the one fending for him already. I was fending for him already, and it was killing me. Talk more of adding a child to it. So I was taking contraceptive pills. Anyway, back to where I was at. So he decided to met out justice on me in the same way OG people, that's the village where we come from, in the same way OG people would do. And it was disastrous because in our side, when a woman cheats on her husband, like, evil things happen to her. I know of a particular woman who had run mad because she cheated on her husband. So Ezra and my husband decided to carry out justice on me, and it was to a disastrous end. To complete this story, read A Good Name by Yejide Hilanko. It is a very wonderful book. And if you've not read it, you're just missing out on it. So that was a very brief summary with a lot of details left out that I just narrated in that video. Thank you for watching. Read my look. Bye guys.